In a more sort of traditional season, a director will have gotten together with designers and dramaturgs and sort of and costumers and the behind the scenes people to have planned out what the play is going to be. The Actors Renaissance season is run entirely by the actors. We show up on the first day of rehearsal knowing we're going to be in front of an audience in whatever it is, 7 or 8 days, and nobody's telling us what to do.
Like, or something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge...
More like a warrior's throne than
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you know the crown that I have for Much Ado?
Yeah.
That's what I'm working with for the crown for...
The idea is that we're trying to preserve how Shakespeare's actors would have put on a play back in the day. And so we receive a cue script with just our cue. We don't even get a full script. And we don't have any directors, and we sit and chat and argue and collaborate for the first part of the day and try to see where we want this the specific play to be set. And we'll come up with a really great idea. We'll get 3 days into rehearsal and be like, well, that's clearly not going to work.
I feel like we should mark it or work it so that we speak when we're seen.
With every season at the American Shakespeare Center, we don't just do one play. It is usually the first play that I think the actors have had the most time to sort of dig into. But it felt this year, with this being my first Ren season, that Much Ado is a very popular title. We all know it. Getting into that felt very much not that different from being in the summer-fall season.
3 and 4, 5, great, I see.
Yeah, it has to go right.
But then we get to a play like A King or No King, which is a very obscure play in that we don't do it very frequently. It is now starting to taste like what people described to me Ren was going to feel like, which is a combination of terror and joy and drowning, and you finish a day where you're like, wow, I've made some incredible strides, and then the very next day you're just like, I should probably just quit theater. I think probably is just better for everyone.
I think we should get psychologists to come and watch us do this, because actors are willful, essentially self-centered people, and we all want to kind of move the work in certain directions, and what you see is how people nudge a larger group of people. The conflict, so much as it is the most productive thing, because ideally what you have is, in a scene, say 2 actors, both of them bringing their best understanding of what the scene should be, and then really listening to one another.
It seems like we're allowing the absurd characters to be absurd, and everyone else who's not that. Yeah, I agree. I think
There are, though, I think it's worth noting too, different levels of absurdity. I mean, there's this sort of madness that's maybe our basis absurdity. Then there's the swordsman, which is the absurdity of their... I think that it produces something that's a lot more dynamic than director-driven work can be, where there's kind of one hand guiding everything. This is 12 hands guiding everything, and sometimes it goes wildly off the rails, and other times it's really a productive tension.
Maybe we can figure out something that no other people have figured out with the actors' blocks. You know, like maybe
We rehearse the shows in a very, very short period of time. I remember, and I could be wrong, but to my memory, the first time that I did it, we rehearsed a show in 4 days, and then we had an audience on the 5th day, and then we started rehearsing another show the day after that.
ASC produces an unusually high number of plays per year for any theater, and particularly for a theater our size. What makes it possible, though, is repertory. So we've got one company of actors doing multiple roles in 4 or so plays per season. The things that are at the core of the way ASC practices Shakespeare is to put an emphasis on the handmade, the artisanal, the acoustic, and the personal. And I think that really is enabled by the vibe of this place. There's something about the scale of this room which is really, really authentic, and nobody is outside the easy reach of an actor's voice.
Prove all this that I have said, if I may live so long.
I think when people hear that what we do is recreate what the audience's experience was in Shakespeare's time, I think people who haven't been here kind of imagine a little bit of a Renaissance fair kind of vibe, like chicken legs or whatever, turkey legs, and a lot of huzzas and stuff. But it isn't really that. What we're trying to recreate is, I mean, Shakespeare was writing the popular entertainment of his day. So what we're trying to do is just sort of recreate the sense of popular entertainment that Shakespeare's plays were.
Shakespeare's plays have lots of music in them. They're written inside the plays as well as there was music played before the shows began. So the second you walk into the playhouse, you start connecting. Whether you realize it or not, you start connecting with the performers. Now in Shakespeare's day, they used musicians, and the actors themselves did not play it, but things are different these days, and so now we have the actors do it as well. We are very lucky that we have people who are good at music, and they get better every season that they work with us.
I came in and I was a piano player, and now, I mean, I play the piano and the mandolin and the bass and the accordion and all these things. We suggest songs that we either just want to do because they're fun, or we think, oh, that lyric has a lot to do with the theme of this play, wouldn't that be funny?
Listen to the wind blow. So during Much Ado About Nothing, we do the chain. The second the first 3 notes start, audience members go, yeah, that's great. Run in the shadows, damn your love, damn your lies. And that's something, it's a great gift to share with people and to pull them into the story.
Now it is a time to speak. I hearken. I mean not you!
We really stick to the words, and the words are fun and really funny. And even in some of the history plays and some of the tragedies as well, like, there really is something for everybody.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills. A commodity in question.
Shakespeare's tragedies all have loads of comedy. Shakespeare's comedies all have loads of serious stuff. We are here to entertain you, and you will have a good time. You will enjoy yourself.